Hi, good afternoon, guys. So, we have in the previous session, previous class, previous online thing, we have understood about sources of finance. There can be short term finance, there can be medium term finance, and there can be long term finance. So, we have I've briefed you people on short-term finance, such as any loan which has been any sources of finance which has been taken from XYZ banks or XYZ aspects, and which needs to be paid back within a gap of a year. So we people tend to call them as short term, short period, and anything from 1 to 5 years, we people genuinely declare or define them into medium term, and anything which is above around, let's say, more than 5 to 10 years, we people call term it as long terms. So based on that, we had taken short-term sources of finance. Um, what are the different types of short-term sources of finance? Such as indigenous banker was the point first, then installment credit was the second point, advances was the third point, accrued expenses and deferred income was the fourth point, account payable was the fifth, or creditors was the fifth point, trade credit was the sixth point, and this where and bills discounting was the seventh point. So this we all had discussed in the previous sessions. Now this video we will be more heading into the second our sources of finance, that is your medium terms of finance. Now what are the different types of aspects you people get in medium term sources of finance? Okay, so there are a few sources of medium terms of finance. First one amongst them is financial institutions. So here in India, in our country, where we have number of institutions established for providing financial support to companies who are engaged in business. Those business might be into small scale business. It might be cottage industries. It might be handloom industries. It might be anything. But basically, what kind of institutions are there to support or to put through? First, institutions like IDBI, that is Industrial Development Bank of India. Then we have ICICI, that is, remember this full form of ICICI, guys. This is asked for your 2 marks. ICICI is Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India. I repeat, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India. ICICI, that is. Then National Industrial District Development Corporation, National Industrial Development Corporation, NIDC. Then Industrial Reconstruction Corporation of India. Then National Small Industry Corporations of India. These are the institutions. State Industrial Development Corporations. So these are few financial institutions which provide medium-term finances to cottage industries, small industries for their benefits. So one, medium term. These are the institutions who provide medium term assistance. Come next, second point is your commercial banks. As the funds of commercial banks are in form of deposits, subjects to withdrawal at a short notice. So short-term financing is done on tangible products and readily marketable securities. Commercial banks are also today very much trending in our country, where a lot of business people tend to. Commercial banks are all these, whatever we have today. Something like State Bank, Axis, HDFCs, all these examples which I just gave you, many more of course, are commercial banks. Okay. Then we have public deposits is the third point, public deposits. So here, important source of medium term is for the companies is public deposits. Public deposits are the public deposits at interest rates which are higher than bank rates for deposit of comparable periods. Now, public deposits offered by companies varies from 11 to 15%. So sometimes what happens here for the medium term is public deposit is again another um, mm, a form of funding of loan which has been given where to the small organizations where they at a reasonable rate, let's say 11 to 15, the people prefer to deposit their savings, and obviously they want to take the money from it, prefer to deposit their savings with reputed financially and sound companies to get the higher rate of interest. So that is one mode of investment. Then one more is your investment companies. Again, is might be listen something like investment companies like insurance companies, investment funds, mutual investment trusts, mutual funds, short-term, medium-term, long-term investments in business enterprises. So investment companies also sometimes provide you these modes of services of loan. They provide you that financial stability, financial assistance which they give to the companies. So investment companies such as insurance companies, investment trusts, um, all these aspects might provide you that. Then the next is hire purchase. That is your fifth point. Hire purchase means hiring an asset or hiring of an asset for a period of time and at the end of the period purchasing the same. You are utilizing it. Um, you're you're utilizing that product. You're utilizing that asset for the moment, and once you utilize it, once you have used it to the core, you people at the end of that tenure, it might be for 5 years, 3 years, or whatever it may be. After you have utilized it, that asset, once you have utilized that asset, you have to at the end of the time purchasing the same. You end up purchasing for your own company. Actually, this is the time sharing of an asset. This is called also as a time sharing of an asset. The person hiring the asset acquires its position to right to use it. Once you take that, the person who is hiring this asset, who is buying this asset, who is taking this asset, he takes the rights to use it. So, like for example, payment will be made in installments. Nobody will ask you to pay it immediately or on stretch for hiring thing. You might see your buildings go on higher, your shopping complex goes on higher, something like that. Even these payments will be paid in installment wise. The possession of goods is given to the buyer immediately. The moment this transaction is done, the deal is done, the hiring contract agreements are done, the ownership is given to him. Then the property in the goods remains with the vendor till the last installment is paid. Now, if he doesn't pay the installment, he can hold a right. He has every right to hold on to those goods. But in case if everything is paid normal, if it doesn't, he has the rights to hold on to the value of goods. The seller can repossess the goods in case of default in payment of any installment. Now, if he has kept any goods as security, he can resell it. He can repossess it. Possess it in the sense he can keep it for himself till for lifetime also if he doesn't pay that, or if he doesn't pay any one of the installments which is pending. So he can do that also. So each installment is treated as higher charges till the last installment is paid. So till the deal is complete, it will be taken as. Next is lease financing. You people might have heard with this word at least, lease financing. So a contractual agreement in which party owning an asset provides the asset for the use to another and over a certain period of time. Now house goes for lease, especially in metro cities. If you people take houses are given for on lease basis, they'll ask you to operate for 10, 15 years, and the moment the term comes to an end, you are supposed to give the condition of that asset as it was. I mean, you have to repaint it, you have to give that how it was to the owner back. So that is lease. Then internal loans from the government, such as like central and the state government provide short-term and medium-term finance assistance to the companies. So backward areas through separate industrial ministries. So government assistance is also providing you the opportunities. So these are few what do we say financial assistance or short medium term financial assistance which small industries or medium industries do get. So this was the topic which I wanted to discuss. So 7 points again in this. First one is financial institution. Second is commercial bank. Third is public deposit. Fourth is investment companies. Fifth is hire purchase. Sixth is lease financing. Seventh is government loans from the government. Okay, kindly go through this. In the next sessions, we will be going through the last part of this long-term resources of finance. All right, thank you.